It feels like dating feels impossible these days. Buying a home feels impossible these days. It feels impossible to even get rich. So the question now is, what do we do? Because it's obvious that global inflation is causing things to skyrocket to the point where the average man today cannot even dream of owning a home. The average man today still lives with his parents, right? Then we have the dating scene that completely keeps setting ridiculous standards. Also, thanks to feminism, right? So guess what? The world was easy on us while we were boys. But guess what? Now we have grown into men. It now feels like we were expected to be men those years while we were boys, being cuddled, being soft. So where did all these problems come from? I kind of figured that it came from our childhood, right? When we began to feminine we began to raise boys in a very feminine manner. Now, I have my own story, right? And to be very, very frank, this my video is not to make you look like I'm better than you, but I'm just shedding some light to you, right? Because I grew up in a home where things were very comfortable for me, right? Whenever I wanted to eat, there was food. Everything was very comfortable growing up. Then up until my university years where my dad kind of had some little difficulties. So what would happen was he would pay school fees. He might pay school fees twice, like instrumentally, but I'll have to fend for myself while I was in school. Now, how I was able to fend for myself is a different conversation for another day. I'm not sure I want to bring it into this topic. So, discovering that life is not as easy as it looks like, right? When I came out of university, I had practical skills. I had sellable skills that I was already using to make money while I was in university and also able to make money after university. And to be very, very frank, it's not like I stumbled on this thing by accident. I kind of realized that in my uni days, one thing that was missing was comfort. So one problem with young men today, or you have, is comfort. You are too comfortable. Think about it, right? While you are comfortable as a young boy, guess what? The moment you go past your comfort, the world does not give jack shit about you. You've grown past your comfort. The second thing now is distractions. Now, if you look at kids, right, the young boys to be precise, how they are always glued to their tablets, their TV, you get to realize that that child does not realize that the world is not like that for him. The world will not expect him to what? To be able to man up. The world will expect him to man up by the time he's of age. And guess what? There's no actual age for you to become a man if you really think about it. Is it 16? Is it 18? The moment the society sees that you have a penis, you are shaped like a man, you can stand up tall with your shoulders back, automatically they begin to expect a lot from you. Perfect. They begin to expect a lot from you. Now, something interesting happened when I was in university. That experience made me realize that I am really on my own, right? At the same time in university, my father was battling cancer. And it kind of made me realize that if this man dies today, I think I'm fucked. And brother Mrs., I'm unable to take care of myself. So that gave me an insight into, you know what, working as hard as possible. And looking back at it, I think I'm grateful for the fact that that experience of that idea that my dad could literally die today and I'll be fucked because I have lived under his bubble. I have lived under his care. And if you've followed me for a while, you will know the story of me leaving my father's house and realizing that all of that comfort, all that distraction is an illusion. Because guess what? The moment you step into your 20s, it's no longer a joke. Your 20s, you have to work as hard as possible. And I'm grateful for having a dad who kind of made me realize that the comfort is given to me. It's not for me, it's for him. Because he wants to justify the fact that he has tried his best. So it's left for me to figure out what is next. And this is deep because I literally have friends who I would say they never embraced the idea of discomfort. They enjoyed and they rode on that ground of comfort. And I'm not trying to say that I'm better than them. One thing I see for sure is that as we speak, they are still trying to figure out life. I'm trying to figure out life. So again, we all have different journeys, and I'm not comparing myself to them. But the thing now is, what should you do? That idea of comfort and distraction are the two things that are disturbing you right now. Comfort and distractions. Now ask yourself, how comfortable are you? Because people don't realize that the moment you are comfortable, the mind begins to entertain too many stupid ideas. Again, which is distractions. Your mind begins to entertain trashy ideas. And again, if you kind of look at men today, right, they have become too comfortable. Guess what? You become comfortable, you're living with your parents, right? They are taking care of you. But what happens if they die today? Can you stand on your 2 feet? It's a real question, right? Because when I was faced with that question in my head, I had to take like a serious look at myself, right? Like I said, it's really made me realize that I need to learn skills fast. And I'm grateful for that because those skills have taken me over even after leaving my father's house. So I'll say, as a man, leaving your father's house is a lot. So I often hear people talk about if your father is not chasing you, you should stay. I don't really buy that idea because when you live in your father's house, there's a limit to what you can do. There's a limit to the freedom you have. There's a limit to the opinions you have. You might stay close to them, but living on your own gives you a sense of control over yourself. It makes you remember that you should start taking care of yourself. And one thing that makes a man very attractive is being capable. So I ask you, how capable are you to take care of yourself? How capable are you? You really cannot know how capable you are until you leave your father's house. I've seen there's a new shift I'm seeing in African homes where the boy is of age, right? He can work. He's working already. He's earning well. But the parents want to keep him around, right? They say things like, oh, save your money. Bro, what I save your money for? You're probably going to save your money for what? For a car. After a car, what next? The moment your parents are gone, right? You may inherit the house, but can you really stand on your 2 feet? Can you be bold enough to speak? I bet you most men can't. No matter how much your father does, there's a limit to how much he can do. That is why I made a video saying you have to save yourself. You just have to save yourself. What the question now is, why should you even rise up as a man? Why should you grow up as a man? Because society actually needs you. One, two. You have two options. It's either you suffer for being a man child, that is, being a grown man with a child of a brain, or you reap that reward. Because if you look at the dating scene today, let's be honest, the game has completely changed. Making money has completely changed. One other thing that makes this worse is the advice our fathers had no longer works in today's world. No matter what, guess what? Working in a job, no matter how perfect that job is not safe anymore, regardless of who you are. Banks are going bankrupt. Yeah, banks are going bankrupt. So it's no longer safe. Right? So that idea of comfort. In short, I basically had this tape that I listened to, and it has John Jones saying that David Goggins say, be that guy who embraces the ugly, the pain, the misery. But every time I listen to that thing, it gives me shiver in my spine. So what should you do? Leave your parents' house and embrace that discomfort. Embrace the uncertainty, right? Because let's be honest, those periods are periods. If you look at people who are successful, those periods are periods they truly embraced. Have a vision, work on yourself to get rid of a distraction. You see, if you remove all of this masculinity talk, and then if you just look at the advice that really, 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 really works is one, as a man, have a vision. It may come as bear your purpose, have a goal, but if you don't have something your mind is working towards as a man, guess what? You feel useless. In reality, you're actually useless, even though you have rich parents. Because mind you, I told you that growing up, we had comfort. Growing up, we had everything that we needed to have. There was food, we had drivers, we had cleaners, we barely cleaned around. But guess what? All that shit began to wobble towards the end of his life when he began to have cancer when I was in university. And I'm grateful for that experience. Like I've said, again, have a vision for yourself. It could be your purpose, your dream, your mission. Just have something you're looking towards. Now take action on the thing you're looking towards until your vision. Guess what? When you begin to take action, be disciplined, right? And be focused on the action you're taking. Now, mind you, the whole idea of a vision, right, is to give a direction to your mind. Now, one thing I believe is having a vision in almost every area of your life. You're not acting on all of the visions immediately. You're acting on the one that is perfect for your right level. So, for example, now is I have a vision for my relationships, for my marriage, and everything. But I don't base my mind on it right now. I'm open to it. I'm exploring, right? That is understanding how women talk, understanding the red pill, making me red pill aware. Okay, why do women cheat? What do women really, really want in a relationship? Okay, I'm having those information, but I'm not actively dating yet. Now, I'm trying to make money when money is settled because, to be very honest, if you're trying to bring a feminine woman into your life, I don't really think her working a corporate job, right, is really a wise thing to do. Because whether I like it or not, your wife being bossed around by another man feels a little bit awkward, right? It feels very, very awkward for her to be bossed around by another man. So, heck, I want to be the sole provider because she has roles she has to play. So the whole point is, by the time you begin to have vision in every angle of your life, you begin to think and act different. So now you have a vision, you're taking action towards it, right? You're disciplined, you're resilient. Resilience is Sometimes you lose track of your vision, but guess what? You have to bounce back. And it's easier if you do it with people, right? This is like a brotherhood. Now, you may own a business and run a business on your own, quite all right. But to some extent, you might need people to be around you, people who are sharp-minded, right? For me, the people I have around me are mostly, I take them to be more of mentors than friends. That's why I tell you, one advice, one life hack I'll tell you is, if you want to avoid making the same dumb mistakes your friends are making, look for people who are older than you, who have achieved something similar to what you want. If you watch my vlogs, you get to realize there's a guy called Bolu, right? When me and Bolu go for our MMA training, no, he goes for traditional martial arts, I go for mixed martial arts training. And you get to see that his views on life have been shaping over time, and I'm really grateful for the fact that he's discovered this hidden truth early in life. He can think for himself early in life, and this is somebody who is already on the right track, because thinking for yourself is very important. Having a vision, if you hear him talk, he has a vision. Again, when you have a vision you're working towards, it gives you a sense of true confidence. We always talk about delusional confidence, but guess what? Everybody who had delusional confidence was able to add the hard work behind it to back it up. One last thing you need is feedback, because without feedback, you might just waste your time, right? So, bro, that's it. Have a vision, take action, be resilient, right? You can deal with people and then get feedback. That is all of the advice self-improvement gives to you. Obviously, you're also solving problems along the way. You're no longer alone. And guess what? That is how you grow into a man. Because without a vision, no matter what you do, you might go to the gym. This is why I feel like the gym culture has become fucked up these days. You're telling people, go to the gym and to solve most of your problems. But in reality, we now have a lot of bimbos in the gym. Guess what? They're having the bodies of, they're having so much muscles but no brains. It's quite ridiculous and it's quite funny. So my name is Tonore. My content is to help young men actually level up, go from boys to men, because trust me, the world will be easy on you while you are a boy. Right? But the moment you turn into a man, it's become very difficult for you. So please, as early as possible, right? There is no exact age. You can be 18, 19, 20. But the moment you realize that, okay, I want to make something for myself, start immediately. Don't wait for the world to see you as a man, because the moment the world sees you as a man, automatically it comes after you as a man. So talk to you soon. And bye for now. Please share this video.